Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to Jedi Fallen Order. It's going to be part 2 of our true Jedi slash quote unquote pacifist playthrough, where I try to kill as few things as possible. I've done some tweaking of the game settings, so hopefully we don't get the bad kind of freezing and frame drops that we had in our last video. So go ahead and continue from where we left off, which I believe was the Temple of the Wind, if I'm not mistaken. Provided my memory isn't failing me. It was last week that I recorded the last part, so the possibility is always there. Ah, yes, here we go. We'll wait to move until the textures have fully loaded in here. Okay, so Alright, so yeah, the frame drops are still there, but they're not as bad, so that's good. Alright, so then this area has some interesting things. There's puzzles here, obviously. You can see this, this thing right here that we're going to have to move. Now, technically speaking, I could use the Force to freeze it in place, but that's not going to do me any good right now. So we're just going to open this up and have the wind push it there. That'll get it to move. So we can climb up here. And that statue at the end there is technically something that we can fight, but as per usual with this playthrough, we're going to go out of our way to avoid it if possible. Whoops, missed that. Thankfully, we're going to be getting a power later on that makes these sections much easier, but for right now, we're just kind of trusting to luck. There we go. Alright. Looks like we've got to... The camera's kind of drawing our eyes up there automatically, so that's the way we've got to go. This is the section of the game that shows the Tomb Raider inspiration most clearly. This and another temple slash tomb that we've got to go through later on. Up to and including some puzzles to solve. Now this guy wants us, but whoops. Missed that, so let's try this again. There we go. Again, as per usual, we're not fighting enemies if we can help it. Because, you know, they're just creatures and we're invading their home. So we're just gonna, you know, no reason to attack them if I don't need to. Go ahead and open this up.
Ugh. Guess a lightsaber can't solve everything.
Alright, we can't get in there yet. We're going to have to come back here with a ability that we get later on. Alright, so here's where we're technically supposed to face off against this enemy for the first time, but I don't think that you actually have to fight it. If I remember correctly, you couldn't just move this way and avoid it. There we go. I know that technically that enemy is not a living thing, and so, you know, from a technical point of view, it should be null from my point of view as a pacifist in this particular playthrough, but, you know, as little fighting as possible. We want to try to stay true to the spirit of it, right? And again, we get some nice little XP bonuses from BD scanning, so that's always helpful. Especially on a playthrough where we're basically guaranteed to be under-leveled through the entire game. You know what? I just realized something. Hang on 1 second. Yep, probably should have done that before. Apologize for the echo in the audio there. Forgot to plug in my headphones. So now that's dealt with, and that should help clear up the audio a little bit.
Focus. Jedi do not seek aggression, but we stand against it. The Force is there to shield us. The obstacles in your path define the path. What stands in the way becomes the way. Now, try again. Good. Continue. Faster now. Complete the test.
What stands in the way becomes the way. I did it.
So yeah, that 30-second foreshadowing we got of some abilities like that earlier in this area. And those nicely shaped kind of circular patterns indicating exactly what we can push and where. There, this gives us a shortcut ability to get back to another area. Now if we do this, I believe there's a secret up here.
This Guardian was destroyed long ago. Hey! Did you find something, BD-1?
There we go. All right. So now, let me see. Where are we? So we can go back to that previous room and knock down that, knock through that one area if we want to. Or we can go this way. Then you actually have to, yeah, you have to squeeze through there. Let's actually go back and grab that while we're here, because I mentioned this before, but backtracking through these temples is kind of a pain, because there's very little space or room for you to actually be able to get shortcuts or the ability to backtrack in any way except for going straight through it, the same way that you came in originally. So it becomes an issue. Did we just soft lock? I think we may have just soft locked. Interesting. Let me check this real quick. Oh, yep, we just soft locked, ladies and gentlemen. I've never seen that with this game before, though I have heard of it happening to other people. So let's go ahead and quit that out and then start her up again. I may have to continue to tweak the settings of this game a little bit more. So I thought I put in some things to improve it, but apparently I did not. I do genuinely enjoy this game a lot, but there are some issues And the PC port not running particularly well is one of them. It's a very graphically intensive game, but more than that, it's actually a very CPU and RAM intensive game. However, they have it loading from its system just makes it's difficult. It's a difficult thing. Okay. Let me see if I can turn the graphics. I'm going to try to turn the graphics settings down a little bit. Maybe take off some of the effects that they have on here and see if that helps. Take off film grain. Take off chromatic aberration. Video. Graphics quality. As medium as low as it can go. Alright, if you say so, game. Okay, so we'll go ahead and try that. We'll see where it starts us. It may just start us back at the beginning. Okay, so it starts us back here. That's not too bad. Alright.
I did it.
My friend, take a look at the detail on this bark. The distinctive striations. It can only be a Rocha tree from Kashyyyk. It's time to call on an old friend. If the Zepho had contact with Kashyyyk, there is a good chance Chieftain Tarful will know about it.
Oh, hey. So this fight is mandatory. Thankfully, these guys aren't particularly difficult because they move very slowly and they're telegraphed their weak points incredibly obviously. They're much more difficult if you fight them before you get force push, but as I've demonstrated already, you don't have to fight them at all before you get force push, so. Alright, and we can scan. This is something that we haven't done a lot of in this game because obviously we haven't killed a lot of things, but if you defeat an enemy, you can in fact scan the body, and that gives you some nice XPs, so. Here we go. And now we're back in the room that we were before. Very nice. All right, so look at our map really quick. You can see all of these green areas here are all ones that were blocked off to us before, but now that we have force push, we can actually go to all of these different ones, including this one right back here. Whoops. Thought there was a floor there, and there was not. I really need to start paying more attention to those sorts of things. There we go. Another echo for us here.
This was deliberately destroyed. You can still feel the hate of the act.
Here we go. Should be a nice safe way for us to get down without having to fall all the way. Alright. So there's a couple more things that we can do in this area. Obviously, the main things are kind of straight ahead here. This right here can be pushed down. Or can it? It looks like it can, but it actually can't. We actually have to use something to smash that. Oh, he saw me. Alright. And this is something that this game does as well for the puzzles, is that it actually gives you a hint system where BD will give you a hint if it seems like you're spending too long on a particular puzzle, which happens a lot, but it happens less frequently if you're on a higher difficulty, obviously. So once again, we're just going to avoid that guy. No reason to fight him. I mean, it would be nice to have him out of the way for the puzzle, but you know, he's not bugging us. He's only in the one spot, and he doesn't. It's not like he roams anywhere. There we go. Alright, so that is up there now. So I believe we have to move it into this area right here. There we go. Alright. So we don't... So, let me see. It's been a bit since I played this part, so I'm trying to remember everything that you have to do. So this gets us out here, which is the other side of that barrier. There's not really anything else we can do. Oh, wait, hang on. There's a place we can climb and also a place that we can kind of walk through. Let's check our map. So that leads us down and around. Okay, so let's check up here first. Okay, so there's a thing to open to blow. Ah, so we're back towards the beginning of the level then. Because this is... We actually had to traverse this platform at the very end of the last stream that we did. There we go. Alright, so we can use this to go through that slide where we had put the second of these orbs and send it down to the other area. Oops. Not you. This one. There we go. Excuse me, just trying to solve a puzzle here. Thank you. Okay. So now it went down here, up there. Okay, so it's just going to keep going around in a circle. Perfect. So we want it up here. So then we can do this and use our powers together. First to freeze it in place and then to push it to where we need it to go. Very clever little puzzle. So we can go this way, I think. Yes, perfect. Okay, and I believe this is the elevator that takes us back up to the surface. So let's go back down first, because we've got this whole other area with a couple more doors in it that we can explore before we go. Because that elevator is open and ready for us now, but let's not leave without doing some thorough exploration of some things first. This is the right way. Down through here. Ah, yes, this area. I remember this puzzle. So there's vents in each corner of the room, each of which is facing a semi-different direction, and of course there's this ball right here. So what we have to do is we have to get it to get up to speed to push it in this way to smash this open. And then once that's smashed open, that will take us to that'll unlock something for us. So as you can see, there's little things kind of in a few different directions here. Yeah, see, now we have 4 vents, each blowing in a slightly different direction. If we let it build up some speed. There we go. Alright, so now if we close this vent, and I think I actually smashed this open by accident when I was trying to get it to go around in a circle.
There's not just wind rippling through these chimes. Voices from the past?
Because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use that vent to blow it back over to this corner where that wind will take it and blow it there. But, you know, we kind of broke it. So, oh, and also, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. There's a second part to this where you have to get the ball into the exact center of this part right here and then blow it towards the middle. Which isn't really a puzzle, it just involves opening both vents and then opening this one.
These were used in Zeppo meditation rituals. I think they were training Force users.
Right, so that gets us a Force Essence, which is the counterpart to the health essences that we found previously. So that's nice. Alright, so if we go back this way, then back to that main area, and then back out the way we came, towards the top, we can then go to the exit. Come on, game. Don't soft lock on me again, please. I know you don't like the physics of this area, but we gotta progress. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of notifications over here on my capture letting me know that I'm dropping frames, and I'm well aware. But unfortunately, with the way that this game is optimized, I don't really have much of a choice. So just gonna have to roll with it for right now. I'll keep playing with the settings, and hopefully we'll figure something out eventually. This lift is going to take us back to the surface.
What did you find?
The Zephyr went to Kashyyyk. Cordova mentioned someone named Tarful.
A Wookiee chieftain. They were old friends.
Think he's still around?
There's only one way to find out. We have to go to Kashyyyk.
Okay. Do a quick meditation real fast so we can do a couple of things. So we've unlocked a whole bunch more powers, even though we haven't actually bought very many yet. This one is going to be pretty important to us, automatically deflecting blaster bolts while we're running. With the next skill point, I think we'll get a health upgrade. So we'll just keep playing it that way. Something else that you'll notice, looking down here,
Did we just open the way for the Empire?
there's a lot of Imperial soldiers here now. But something else is that all of these vents are open now, which makes it much more much easier to traverse this area. Yeah, no, I'm getting rid of the rocket troopers, but, you know. The rest of these guys can get to live, but the rocket troopers, those are the ones that are going to cause me a lot of trouble if I try to platform out of here, so.
Ancient Zephyr gathered here. I wonder why.
That wasn't my fault. Oh, hey, a probe droid. Excuse me. All right, and that's a nice shortcut back to this area. Do a quick pause here. Not going to rest because we didn't lose too much health. We only got hit a couple of times, so we don't want to respawn all the enemies unnecessarily. So you can kind of see those air vents aren't just open by the ruins. They're open all over the place, so... Whoop. I'm going to blame that on the performance issues right there. There we go. We'll go ahead and jump up here. It's an area we couldn't get to before because of the... now we have the wind on our side. Once again, kind of making a hop, skip, and a jump. We're just working our way back up towards the area we were at before. At the beginning. Alright, we'll give it a second, give it a chance to breathe. Sometimes a lot of rapid traversal like that causes this game to kind of have a mild issue. So alright, so this is going to be alright. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, I tried going for the door, but they just weren't going to let me. I don't even know what happened to that stormtrooper. Oh, he's way over here. Man. Kind of regret that that happened, but you know what? So you do unlock at some points those little audio clips of Cordova talking about different things that he discovered or different parts of like cultures like the Zepho and other things like that, which are kind of cool, but they don't really give you all of it right away. You have to go back through and actually, let me see. Can I get back this way? Or do I have to go all the way around? I think I can get back this way.
The Jedi, you can't beat us.
Excuse me. Yeah, I can't get that yet. And I have to push that down from the other side.
Get up here! Hurry! Come on and fight us!
Alright, so I'm just gonna keep moving. So I think I have to go back to the landing pad a different way. And here I thought the changes that I made to tweak how this was working were actually going to improve the capture for this game, not make it worse. So it was running poorly last time, but it wasn't running this bad, and it certainly didn't soft lock on us like it did. Okay, so now can we get down from here, or are we just kind of on an overlook? No, I don't think we can. Okay, hang on. How do we get back? Let me zoom out. So we have to get back somehow, right? Excuse me. I would have thought that it would be... Maybe it's just... Maybe it is back in that other area and I'm just missing it. Let's go back to the other area. So if we head over here... Right? So we should be able to just get... Can we get up there? Oh yeah, up, duh. You just climb up that side of that building and then get up to the roof. No, that was wrong. Excuse me. There has to be a way to climb up there, right? Yes, I know Scomplink must be repaired. Alright.
Now.
Yeah, BD, heal me for a second. Oh, there it is. Duh.
We'll get you.
Excuse me.
I've got a shot. Okay. Aim and fire. Be faster.
Alright, so let's go back over here and set this up so that we can avoid the situation entirely in the future.
Can't escape us.
Push that down.
Yeah, someone else take a hit.
There. That's down there for us next time.
Back up, I've got this.
Pressure on him. I've got him.
That's right. Enemy spotted.
Okay. So now, let's actually rest. So we actually had to use a health stim there for the first time, which was unfortunate, but, you know, these things happen. Okay, so if I remember right, there's a mini boss fight for us out here. Yep. Come on, game. There we go. Come on. There it is. Now what you're supposed to do is kind of keep your distance and use force push to push its projectiles back at it, but if you're daring enough, and that works on higher difficulties too, it's just that the ATSD is obviously a lot more aggressive on higher difficulties, so, you know. Really, dude? Alright.
Nice work out there, kid. Hey, you got some real moves on you. Just tell me that this visit wasn't for nothing.
I found the tomb of a Zepho sage. They definitely used the Force.
An advanced civilization of force wielders who mysteriously vanished. No wonder Master Cordova became so obsessed with them. What else did you find?
Before they disappeared, the Zepho journeyed to the planet Kashyyyk.
Oh,
Cordova had a Wookiee friend named Tarful. Maybe we can find him.
Sheik, look, things are really bad down there. The Empire's muscling in on those Wookiees big time.
So we better get ready for a fight.
I think this lifestyle suits you. fighting that walker seems to have made you more confident. So, how are you holding up?
I mean, with the Force?
Yes, with the Force. I know you said it could be overwhelming.
Haven't gotten myself killed yet. Rather not talk about it.
Yeah, well, I understand. More than you realize.
Why'd you choose to stop using the Force?
When the Purge started, and our clone troops turned against us, my Padawan and I took several younglings and we went into hiding. But we didn't last long. Imperial Patrol was about to discover our location, so I tried to lure them away from my Padawan Trilla. She stayed behind with the younglings, but they caught me. And they tortured me. They wanted to know about the others and how many were left, but mostly they wanted to know about Cordova and where he went.
But you escaped.
It was a prison riot. I saw my opportunity and I took it. But they almost broke me. And I am not the same as I was, Cal.
Your Padawan. Did she survive?
No. But that's why we can't give up. We can't let the sacrifice of those closest to us be for nothing. Give me a minute. I'm siphoning Imperial data.
Is that what they're calling it now?
Everything okay?
Yeah, great. Just enjoying some peace and quiet.
All right, then. Well, if they don't have anything to talk about, let's head to Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk is obviously the Wookiee home planet, so it's appeared in a lot of different things aside from just this game, but
Like it was perfect before?
It was a masterpiece, but now, just don't be surprised if I send you a bill.
Someone's low on funds.
wonder if we should take the poncho off if that's causing the game to run worse.
I'm used to it. Were you rich growing up?
Wealth isn't really a priority for Jedi.
Yeah, well, I was poor too, but it wasn't so bad. My crew and I would find things to do for cheap. That's where I learned how to play Subhawk.
A game which requires credits. Strange choice.
Well, we were kids. We bet all kinds of dumb things from food to funny-shaped rocks. Unfortunately, things changed when we got older. Funny-shaped rocks didn't go so far anymore.
A galaxy would be a better place if they did.
We're about to drop out of hyperspace. Sit down.
Tell me we're not running that blockade.
Oh, only as a last resort. I break the Mantis' transponder to transmit Imperial signals. Hey, Grease.
Yeah,
Keep your power signature low and act like we belong.
just like Braca. No sweat. I don't need another set of hands. Just please keep your eye on the scanner.
All right.
Please.
All right.
All right.
I don't see anything.
You're preoccupied with something on the ground. We're clear.
That doesn't look good.
The Empire is devouring Kashyyyk for its natural resources. Wookiees have been enslaved. Or displaced.
supposed to be watching the monitors?
Guerrilla fighters, Wookiees and off-worlders ambushing an Imperial convoy.
Walkers approaching their position.
Tarful could be with them.
Awful could be anywhere. Like deep in the ground, like we're gonna be if we get caught up in that battle down there.
We don't have any other options, and they'll die without our help.
So what's your plan?
Sabotage. We used to scrap walkers on Braca. I'll just jack one.
Get a load of the kid. He thinks we're back in the Clone Wars.
Captain, get us near those walkers.
Wait, what?
Listen, those walkers double as troop transport, so once you get inside, be careful.
For no freeze grease to work his magic.
Hey, do me a favor. Stay alive down there.
I'll add it to the plan.
Right, if you're jumping, you better do it now, kid.
You ready for a swim, BD?
Isn't it interesting what 2 levels worth of character development does to somebody like Cal? He switched from being a kind of boring, broody character to a boring, cheerful character. I mean, they're...
You ready to do this?
The conclusions that they jumped to in order to get to this point were quite a few, but they've correctly assessed the situation. There's a rebel group attacking the Empire in their holdings here in Kashyyyk, and we're going to try to team up with them, I guess. To do that, we're going to hijack an Imperial walker.
Yeah, I'll try the leg.
Thankfully, these walkers have a whole bunch of mud and grass and other stuff on them, so that makes climbing up them relatively easy.
Okay, now where?
You can also see the guerrilla fighters using a lot of surplus Clone Wars tech, because at this point we're only, what, 4 years after the Clone Wars? So a lot of the stuff is still around and it's still capable of doing some damage.
Climb to the top.
There's one guy that we don't have to kill. Alright, so we've got to move towards the forward compartment. There we go. Sneak in.
There's no pulse. Your turn to report fatalities. This is L97240 reporting in. We've got confirmed casualties. It's the Jedi!
Alright, this is one of those other instances where the game isn't giving you any options. You do have to kill these guys, because you've been locked in a room and you're not given any other choice. So I'll just make it quick.
Reading a new ship on scanners. They brought more firepower than we thought. How's our hull looking? Badly damaged. We're at 70% integrity and falling. That should still be enough to stop out these insurgents. Keep us steady. Yes, sir. Huh?
Really, that actually worked. Okay, throttle.
Report. What's happening over there? You're are in violation of Imperial
Can you shut that guy up?
207. Stand down or we won't have...
All right.
Let's do this.
It's time for us to steer an Imperial Walker.
That's out of the way.
So let's see if we can do some more damage, shall we?
Hey! Who are you?
Someone who just brought Nat to the table. Who are you?
Someone making the Empire angry. We're advancing on an imp landing pad up ahead. With my fire support.
Copy that. Let's make him even angrier. Took out the bridge.
So if you recognize that particular character that boarded us for a second there, that is Saw Gerrera, who will introduce himself properly later, but you'll probably recognize him as the character played by Forrest Whitaker in Rogue One, and who also appeared in Star Wars Rebels, as well as a few other places now. So it's one of the main leaders of the fight against the Empire at this stage. So it's cool to see him in a context like this, and they even got Forrest Whitaker back to reprise the roles, which is really neat. All right, now I got to take out this transport. Go.
It's headed for us. Can you do anything? Hold on! Brace yourself, BD!
Oh well, so much for our ride. Yeah, I'm definitely going to want to take that poncho off.
Yeah, I'm okay. You alright? No, we are not doing that again.
You just wrecked a perfectly good walker. Got a name?
Cal Kestis,
Saw Gerrera.
Oh, there he is.
What are you doing on Kashyyyk?
looking for somebody.
Apparently one of
My companions and I came
Saw's skills is to turn invisible.
Hey!
So, who are you looking for?
A Wookiee chieftain named Tarful.
Tarful is impossible to find. There's a reason he's evaded the Empire for this long.
He's a freedom fighter?
He's the freedom fighter, a symbol of the Wookiee resistance, striking at the Empire from the Shadowlands.
Seer? Grease? This is Saw.
How you doing?
What do you want with Tarful?
Jedi business.
Jedi are dead.
Not all of them.
Get that off a corpse?
My master gave it to me.
This pad supports an Imperial refinery that runs on Wookiee slave labor. Intel suggests that some of the captives there are guerrilla fighters.
I should help them. One of them might know how to contact Tarful.
It's possible.
Whoa, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. The Mantis works wonders. I mean, it's a great ship, excellent pilot, but it is not built for close support.
We'll stay here and monitor Imperial transmissions. With a bit of luck, we'll intercept any distress calls.
Appreciate it. My lieutenants and I will scout ahead to prepare the attack. Join us when you're ready. Go! Go!
Glad you're all right.
Yeah, good to see you too. This place is a dump.
Your plan worked. And now you want to follow Saul?
You don't like that idea?
I'm concerned you're jumping from one risk to the next.
Wait, what? I fly my ship in the middle of a battlefield, and now we're talking about risks?
Why didn't you stop me?
My job is to guide you on your path, not choose it for you. So here's my advice. The Empire's overtaken hundreds of worlds. There's a reason Saw chose Kashyyyk. Saw's goals may not be the same as ours. We should be careful.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
If you're not ready to leave, don't bother me.
Either you heard the Parsons?
Rumors and cantinas, but not much to go on.
They call them radicals. Yeah, I heard the Empire's got bounties on their heads.
Should I be worried about the bounties?
Huh. I doubt it. War zones are bad for business.
If the rumors are even true.
Yeah, well, they are. Partisans are pretty openly hunted by the Empire at this stage. This is one of the unfortunate places that the game's graphics are actually lacking, is that most of the Wookiees don't look particularly good. I mean, I have to imagine that they're probably hard to render in this engine with all of that fur, but it's still not a good look. You find a friend, BD? Gonk droid. And this lady mentioned Zepho, which is where we just were.
I used to live there before the Empire came. Do you know it?
Yeah, I've been. It's horrible what happened.
We weren't able to fight back. But here, with the Wookiees, we have a chance. Thank you for standing with us.
The Force showed me something on Zepho. Memories of someone named Ostar.
My partner. He distracted the stormtroopers so I could escape with our daughter. He was always impulsive. Is he...
Yeah. I found his body.
Part of me wanted to believe he escaped.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be. I'm glad I know the truth.
That's an optional little conversation that you only get if you find certain echoes on Zepho, so that's a nice little touch.
If anything goes wrong with this plan, we're finished.
Mari's mapped out the nearest garrisons. The Empire won't have time to send reinforcements. We'll be okay.
If we can do it quick.
Saw's seen us through worse.
I've got nothing but respect for that man, but this isn't a forest. I hope we're ready.
Yeah, so Saw and his group have been pilfering weapons from the Empire and fighting against them. If you want an abbreviated version of Saw's backstory, he's basically been fighting the Empire ever since it started. He was originally a guerrilla fighter on a planet called Onderon. Him and his sister Stila. This is from the old... well, I say old, from the Clone Wars TV show. So, hey, sup? But once the Clone Wars ended and the Empire came to power, Saw has been fighting them ever since. This area. So this area has a quote-unquote optional mini-boss fight. Basically, if you step in that, a giant spider attacks you. But all you have to do is walk around it, and you can completely evade it.
Well, with this transformer, I bet you can short-circuit Imperial tech.
Okay. Just looking at my stream stats really quick. It looks like it's doing better now. Cool. So now if we do this...
Let's try it.
I know you can see that collectible over there, but unfortunately we can't get that for a substantial amount of time until we have a different power ability upgrade for BD. Just have to stick with what we got for right now.
Gonna need help here.
Okay. I have to make it go around again because I think I stopped it a little too late. And there. That should do it. Oh yeah, these guys. These enemies are just bugs, but they will try to explode on you if you stick around for too long. So I'm gonna make a rule of avoiding them. I usually did that even if I wasn't doing a pacifist playthrough. So all right, come on, game. You're doing so well for so long. It's almost a full half hour since our last frame skip, but I guess going into this cutscene is just a little bit too much for it to handle right now. I'm definitely going to have to adjust some settings before the next stream. Come on, I know you're not really soft locked. I can see you working. Yep, I think this is a full-on soft lock. All right, let's try that again. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to end up having to call the stream after we get through this next cutscene because this is getting a little ridiculous. I'm definitely going to need to adjust some things. Okay. First thing. Let's take that off. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Second thing. Yeah, they don't even give you a chance to lower the settings any further than they already are lowered. So at this point, I don't want to blame the game, but it's kind of the game's fault.
Let's try it. Might be spare parts over there.
So I know this game didn't run amazingly well the first time that I played it, and I thought that they patched it to improve the performance, but apparently it just made it worse. So that's encouraging. Of course, there is the fact that I am streaming it now, so that probably doesn't help. I'm going to have to look at my stream settings and see if there's a way that I can change the actual software to ease up on my poor CPU. Alright, we'll pause right here, let the game load in whatever's up on top of this ladder real quick. Come on. Please get me up there. Really gonna do me like this, game? Seriously gonna do me like this? Alright, well, I guess I'm calling the stream here then if this game is gonna refuse to cooperate with me properly. I'm gonna have to tweak my settings, go back into it, and yeah, we'll see if I can manage to actually get this to work next time. Sorry about this, guys. I had hoped it wouldn't end like this, but, you know, you do what you can. Alright, everyone have a good night. I'll see you next time.